This is my final year of high school. I am a senior at Cerro Gordo High School in Cerro Gordo, Illinois. Being my final year, this is something that can relate to not only a small town school, but somebody that lives in New York, LA. Anybody that is graduating high school can almost relate to everything that is going to be said in this documentary. With only a population of around 1,500 people. In the midst of that 1,500, this is a small group of mine in my high school, Cerro Gordo.
My name is Haven Daly. I am 17. I've grown up in Cerro Gordo. I go to Cerro Gordo High School.
Bit about myself, huh? Bit about myself. Well, I got blonde hair. I go to Cerro Gordo. Been there my whole life. My name's Jacob Ryan Fogerson. Spell it with a K, the real way.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Uh-huh.
All right. What is your name?
Cheyenne Lang. He just made direct eye contact with me.
Justin, 1, 2, 3.
I'm Cheyenne Lang. I'm 18 and I'm from Cerro Gordo High School.
Jake and Shy, I met in preschool. I've grown up with them. Caitlin, I met her my junior year when she was a freshman, and we've gotten pretty close.
How did I meet this group? Well, it started when we were, you were my boo. Me and this one kid, we were back in kindergarten. We had this dance thing, and both of us wanted to dance with Haven. It was TJ. We wanted to dance with Haven, and TJ got picked first, and he picked Haven. Maybe we wanted to dance with Nicole. I started dancing with Haven. Elegant day, you know. So yeah, there's Haven. Met in kindergarten. Cheyenne. When did we meet? Long time ago. She went to Cerro Gordo too. Caitlin. I met her 2 days ago. Like 2 months ago, probably. Like really started talking, like actually talking like friends or whatever. You two can be together if you want.
No. Please don't ask me that question.
Okay. You ready?
I never really thought about it. I'm straight. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, I'm Caitlin Adams. I'm only 16 and I'm a sophomore in high school at Cerro Gordo. I met Shy around like 2 years ago whenever I first moved to Cerro Gordo, going into my freshman year. And I met Haven a few months later. And I just met Jake like 2 months ago. Probably just made it better because I wouldn't have anyone to hang out with, like someone that's mature to hang out with. It's sad because I don't know what I'm gonna do. Move on.
Caitlin kind of puts me in check. She keeps me in line. Shy's my little therapist. Jake's pretty. Jake can be a therapist sometimes, but Jake's just a funny dude, and he just keeps me laughing. They all keep me laughing.
of your favorite memories?
Oh my gosh. I can't point out like a favorite memory. Every time we go driving around or we have fires at Jake's house, it's just always a good time. Yeah, probably either fires or going to basketball games with Shy and Haven.
We drive along. We drive around a lot and just listen to music, and we have fires and nothing really specific. We just mess around all the time and have fun.
Ricky, you gotta take some funny ones.
Take a picture of my die, bro. My dad took a picture of it today. He's like, yeah,
It's not a it's a video.
Oh, you're video on a camera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still recording.
All right, my name is Rex Colgrove. I'm originally from Mattoon, Illinois, and I have been teaching here at Cerro Gordo High School for about 4 years now. I teach mathematics and the physical sciences. Usually I start seeing students as sophomores, so these current seniors I've had off and on for the last 3 years. And since I've only been in the district for 4 years, I didn't know them when they were any younger, really.
I'm Dr. Vicki Gilpin, and this is my 22nd, I think, year of teaching at Cerro Gordo High School. I graduated from Cerro Gordo High School in 1994, and I graduated from Richland in 1996, Eastern in 99, Nova Southeastern at some point after that, University of Phoenix with my EDD, and Harvard 2014 with another master's. I teach English, language arts, theater, and I have a slew of things that I sponsor. I've known most of them for 4 years because I would have had them freshman year and sophomore year. Some of them I have this year as seniors, and then Caitlin, being younger, I met her last year. I seem to recall one year that Cheyenne started counting to her birthday, I think 100 days ahead, 200 days, I don't know, it may have been a couple years ahead. We had a countdown and it was happening daily. Cheyenne, as everyone knows, just brings that laugh into class. And in fact, I was very irritated when she went remote for a while because Zoom isn't the same thing. And when Cheyenne walks in the room and starts laughing, it makes everybody happy. And so I was really glad when she came back.
Yeah, I remember when I had Cheyenne in biology. It was the first year I taught biology. It was a very small class, and someone said something extremely mean to her one day. And she handled it very gracefully, and instead of snapping or making the situation worse, she just stood up and she walked out of the classroom. And then I had a discussion with the student who had said something unkind, and when Cheyenne came back, she was like, fine, we're moving on. Very composed. It was like the perfect way to diffuse the situation, and I think they worked it out later as well, but it was just an excellent example of diffusing a very unpleasant situation. I was very proud of her for that. One of my favorite things about Haven Daily, for instance, is that she has probably asked more questions of me than any other student I can remember. And I like that characteristic in any student, is the comfort and willingness to ask a question when you're not sure about something or you need some guidance. And that's something that I think we don't really push enough when kids are younger, that we don't get them comfortable with that. It's good to be able to try things yourself and to really go through that process of struggle as you learn as an individual. But I think the ability to know when to ask someone else for a little boost or a little help, or just the comfort level to do that, I think is really essential. And so I would say that as you go off into the world, you're not going on as an individual in a sea, as an island. You're going off as an individual among a group of other individuals who are also in the same boat. And so don't think of yourself as an island. There are times when you're going to need to ask for help. There are times when you're going to need to work with other people to achieve greater and to grow. And don't be afraid to do that. You don't have to do everything by yourself.
Haven would occasionally, she was part of the class, she'd answer questions, and of course, we know she's a huge leader in everything and does a fantastic job with leadership. We started working to prep for last year's prom. That didn't happen, so we made lots and lots and lots of decisions last year, and she was on top of all of it, and then had to keep dealing with, she toured the place and she dealt with people who refused to answer her emails, adults in positions of authority who would not answer her. She was with me the whole time when we would say, okay, we're moving prom. Well, maybe we're going to have prom again. We don't know. And she's like, I know the seniors are just ready. They're done. They graduated. Nobody cares. So her being a leader, and she has been able to show a lot more of her strength than that sophomore year, because I hadn't had her since sophomore year, where I think that class was just afraid of being wrong.
One of the best things about working with the students is that everyone has individual performance and individual comfort, and I can see how people understand things individually, but individuality isn't 100% of how the world works. We know there's a lot of group work and teamwork and things like that. And so I think the group dynamics are what I remember a lot more for people, is that I see students performing a certain way individually, but I can also look at, like, this whole group likes to work together, and this is how they boost each other up and make each other better. And I know that when I've had Haven in class, she had a group that worked really well together. And I know, when Jake was in class, like, there's a group that works well together. And like that sort of happens with each time. So as far as individuals, I don't think I should say anything like that, but they're all good team players.
Let's see. Caitlin's very quiet. I'm really glad that she's come from remote. She's only been back from remote a few weeks, and I love getting to have her. I think it's going to be a good transition for next year, coming back and being physically here. But I feel like I don't get focus on her as much since she's physically here, and that's distressing because she's just grown so much in the last year and has done a really nice job. Well, actually, Caitlin was, I believe, the one who, during our COVID quarter, decided that I think the last Zoom meeting we had, she would try to push the season quite a bit, and she did the Zoom meeting from her pool. And I'm pretty sure she was freezing. I think she was blue. And Jacob, who doesn't get called Jake by me except the last 2 weeks because he actually does prefer it. But when I met him freshman year, I said, what do you prefer? And he said, oh, either is fine. And so we had another Jacob, so I called them both Jacob. And that's actually not his preference, but he's gotten so good at being more verbal in classes and just a lot of fun. It's probably good that Jake, is relatively quiet in classes. He is very quiet, and I'm glad that he's started asserting himself a little bit more. But I'm pretty sure a lot of his assertions are not school appropriate and colorful. So it's probably best. But I do like that he's tries to stand up for what he thinks, and he's willing to share what he thinks, and he's not letting people tell him how to do things and what to think and what to do, and I really respect that. And of course, Jacob and I graduated with his dad, so I had to separate that when I first met him because he looks just like his dad did, and so that's hilarious and amusing. And Jacob's brilliant. He's done some really wonderful work. So I know I'm bouncing back and forth between social, personality, etc., and academics, but of course it's seen through the lens of academics.
I see them. My ability for clairvoyance is very limited, so this is going to be a non-answer. However, it is the answer that I enjoy the most, which is the fact that my answer to this question isn't extremely important, and I hope that it doesn't limit them, because where I see them is not nearly as important as where they see themselves. Because I could say, like, yes, I see Jake going off into construction business, having his own business, or, you know, being a foreman or something like that, or, oh, Cheyenne's gonna have her own clinical practice in a few years. Maybe not in 5 years, but it probably takes longer than that. Like, I could say something like that, but the thing is that until you really get out into the world and you experience a lot of these things and you see what you really do enjoy and you test the waters of various things, you won't know exactly. And a lot of people change their mind in college for a reason, because they start something and they realize it's not quite what they wanted to do, and they find something they want to do better. So I think where you see yourself is more important, and the ability to picture yourself in that place and to picture your path to that place is more important.
Caitlin, I'm going to say, because she still has 2 years of school, so 3 years, she's gotten an associate's and is working at a bachelor's, or is in her 3rd year at a bachelor's, or has gone into the occupational world and gotten certification for something, and is, for her, I just want her to be happy, and is making choices for herself, and strong and happy. Haven may be running the world in 5 years. Maybe it'll take 10, I don't know. She'll have a degree or 2, maybe be working on masters, or she'll be a super senior because she's got a bunch of degrees happening or majors happening. So she might still be in school because that happens. And then Cheyenne, similar thing. I know that she'll probably need to not only get a BA, but probably a master's with what she's wanting to do. She might even decide that instead of doing full-time schooling all the time, she might want to do part-time schooling some of the time. To let her focus on it and not get burnt out, and that would be great. But definitely wherever she is, she'll be making people happy and having that same smile and laugh and being the kind person that she is. And then Jake, because with Jacob, I know I know in 5 years I'm going to go find him, and I'm going to ask him if knowing how to critically think and research things and occasionally write helped him or was as useless as he might have thought it was at the time. But he's going to be successful. He'll be determined. And yeah, if in 5 years, then he would be heavily into the trades, and he may have discovered a passion for something for them. I mean, that's what I would really like, is that it's not just, oh, I'm doing this, or even I'm good at it. I'm doing this, I'm good at it, and I love it. That's what I see.
It feels really good. I'm ready to get out of high school. I don't know. I've always been kind of like dependent upon myself. I don't need help from anybody, and I feel like once I get out of high school, I'm gonna do pretty good, because I know I've got a rough idea of what I'm gonna do, and I feel pretty good about it.
Excited. Like, I feel like I've been waiting for it, like, my entire life. But very, very sad. I'm very sad. Low-key. High-key. 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 I am going to the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa to major in pre-dental. I'm going to be a dentist, hopefully an orthodontist, but my first goal is dentist. And my parents are moving with me, so we're all kind of moving south, getting out of here.
Yeah, when I graduate, I want to move to Tallahassee, Florida, and go to Florida State University and go for 4 years to be an anesthesiologist. I plan to take a year off to figure out what I actually want to do, but I want to go to college to be a psychologist.
That's good. Where at?
Well, me and my family are moving down south towards Tennessee, so somewhere down there.
It is our final year together, the final year in which we can experience that sense of childhood with each other. It's supposed to be a sentimental piece for my friends and hopefully those who watch. I wish that you take something from this and enjoy every moment while you can.
This is your documentary.
That's gonna be the documentary.
This should be the opener.
Yeah, I do. Don't be mashed potatoes, and good luck.
As you progress into whatever field of study that you end up in, whatever job or career you decide to pursue, you're going to learn a lot, and you're going to find out that there's a lot you don't know. You're going to find out that you're wrong about some things. You're going to find out that maybe you're right about some things. And I think in all of your life, in any facet of your life, whether it's your personal life or whether it's your career, your family, whatever it is, being right feels good. It's very validating, but being right is not as important as being true. Seeking the truth is more important than seeking to be correct. I think the more that you learn in your field, the better you get at whatever it is that you do. You'll realize that the deeper you go, the more you learn, the more you'll know that you don't know. And that can be very daunting. But that pursuit of continuing to be better at whatever it is should continue to drive you to be the best at whatever it is that you choose to do ultimately, whether or not it's what you want to do now. Always seek to better yourself, and don't let your learning stop here. Don't let your growth stop here. Don't think that who you are now is who you're going to be in 10 or 20 years, because you are still being built upon by every experience every day. And the choices you make are reshaping you into something new all the time. And that's a great opportunity every day to learn something new, to seek the truth, to make yourself a better individual and a more powerful force in the world as you do your career.